2014, I was the youngest member in the world, and I superseded a Germany member who was 21, and to be made Apache inside prison. It was always gang games, hooting, tooting, shooting, smoking. If I could tell some of the youth that there is no bright ending at any of it. There is time taken, and there's no time gained. Yeah, there's a lot of loss in time. There is a way out.
Young soldier of God, steady march.
Yo, it's your boy Dave here, and this is the Fallon Show. Hope all is going well out there. God bless you all. How about you introduce yourself, my brother, and where you're from?
Mauri ora, my brother. My name's Neke Snakey, Wirihana. From Hawke's Bay, New Zealand, Aotearoa. Born here and raised in Australia, Melbourne. Carrum Downs, Frankston. And 501 deported back to Aotearoa in 2016, my brother.
2016. Brother Snakey, man, it's good to have you on the show, my bro.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well, man. It's always good to have one of the boys from Melbourne on the show, man. It's always a pleasure. We've actually done a bit of time together over in Melbourne back in the Port Phillip days, back in those haka practice days and that. Man, that was a couple of years ago now, my bro.
Yes, brother. Yes. That would have been roughly 2014, I think, brother. We were doing that. Yes.
Yeah, about 8 years ago now, man. Time flies, doesn't it?
Yes. Especially from Port Putrid.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, so me and the brother here have done a bit of time together. Just like he said, he's also a fellow 501 deportee. So he was deported from Australia not too long before myself. So, you know, this guy definitely has a story of redemption. He knows the struggle of, being deported and sort of having to start from scratch and go through all of those things, the path that I know as well. This guy was actually back in those days. He was a patch member for the Hells Angels back then. And, even, at the time, bro, one of the boys were saying that you were actually one of the youngest patch members, wasn't it, back then, back in those days?
Yes, brother. 2014, I became a member. 2014, I was the youngest member in the world, and I superseded a Germany member who was 21. And yeah, I was the youngest in the world and youngest to be made Apache inside prison due to being attacked by old foe, old enemy as they were. Now friends, I must say, they're all friends. Was the youngest, bro, yeah.
Yeah, so the youngest Hells Angels to receive his patch at that time. So again, man, story of redemption, brother. You've come a long way, mate, from back then, brother, to what you're doing now. And also, bouncing back after being deported and all of that, which, a lot of brothers don't, man. A lot of brothers I see, have been deported and they're still struggling, you know what I mean, to get on their feet, battling that mental health, depression and all of that. So again, man, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, my brother.
Nah, thank you, brother. Thank you. It's good to see you, my bro.
All right, man. Well, to kick us off, my brother, I guess. So where are you from originally, my bro, and before making that move to Oz?
Brother, if I can, my whakapapa or pipiha, as they say in Māori, ko Ngāti Kaununu, I hope. Born in Hastings, I whakapapa to Hastings and Napier, Hera-Taunga and Ahuriri. My marais are Omahu and Te Hauki, Tauponga and Hautiana Nui. I'm the direct descendant of Tariha Te Moana Nui, Paramount Chief of Ahuriri, Kahununu Te Mata Maui, Hawke's Bay. Raised here for about 19 years, brother. 12 years before I went to Australia. And I could safely say in that 12 years I was raised here, brother, is what added to being that person I was in Australia who got deported. It wasn't all Australia. I left, as you would know, you would have left Aotearoa, you would have known some whānau here who were pretty capable of being mischief. And I I was raised here for 12 years in good old Hawke's Bay. Beautiful place until you see the dark side. But yeah, raised here for 12, 13 years, bro, and yeah, made my way over to Australia.
What
as
sort
a
of?
I left here as a Cripster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Left here.
Like, what sort of made that move to Australia, brother? Was that with the whānau and that, or?
Yes. My father, mother, and myself and all my siblings moved over in 2006, 2007. And Dad's words are to just move to a better place, bro. Hawke's Bay was riddled with gangs then, same as it is now, if not anything worse. It's worse now. Yeah, Dad moved us away to get away from this lifestyles that we're here. Not knowing that Frankston City, Melbourne, that we moved to was just as ruthless, bro. But yeah, Dad's plans were just to move, bro.
Yeah. So how many of you moved over there?
Oh, 1, 2, 7 of us, bro. Yeah, 7 of us moved over. Yeah, flew into Melbourne, Carrum Downs. Frankston was another place I call home. I guess Melbourne will always be a bit of a home for us too. But yeah, moved to a good old Frankston, Franganistan.
Yeah, Franganistan, is it?
Yes.
Oh, Frangabanger.
Frangabanger, cuz.
What the hell is that, man? It's a bit of a culture shock going from Hastings to, Frankston. And how has that changed for you?
Big culture shock, bro. Big culture shock. Yeah, no, it was a massive culture shock. Exactly what I needed to be where I am today, I believe. Just moving from that, I suppose, that dictating gangster lifestyle in Aotearoa to a open, sort of flamboyant, sort of real social gangster lifestyle in Australia. I think the best part about going back to Australia, or moving to Australia, would have been going back to school, bro. I wasn't in school when I left Aotearoa. I dropped out at maybe 10. I dropped out of school 10 and started roaming the streets. So Australia, me adapting to Australia, brother, was maybe one of the best moves, because I went back to school, bro, to Karingal Secondary Park College. Yeah, in Frankston.
So you ended up going back to school and things like that, but you just said, so you left the crib, you know what I mean? So you were involved in that sort of a lifestyle. So how was it for you in Frankston? Because there's a lot of Māoris around there and that, you know what I mean? It is, so how was it for you? Did you link up with other Kiwi boys and that, was it? Or?
Yes, brother, we did. And I did. I went to school, made some friends, and then started up another crip gang, bro. Steady Crippin, SC. It was throughout the whole of Southeast, multiple ethnicities. It wasn't just Māori, but most of us Māori started it up, and invited the Africans, Crips, Samoan Crips. Yeah, we just invited anyone, even Aussies. We got a couple of Aussies banging the Crips at one stage. Yeah, and a lot of those Māori friends today are still friends or with family today, or had kids to my family, so we're all still pretty close, sort of.
Yeah. But were you big on the Māori cultural, like knowing your whakapapa at that time, brother?
Oh, no. What we learned in prison, brother, was about the only thing I ever learned, brother, with those kapa haka practices with Officer Kamanu Dennis. Yes. That rangatira of ours, that was most probably the only whakapapa or anything Mautauranga Māori that I had ever done, really.
Yeah. Well, I think it was for a lot of us, a lot of us ended up. So a quick explanation on that. So in prison in Australia, they do have like cultural stuff that you can get involved with. So for us, we celebrate Waitangi Day in the prison system in Australia. So that's like our day where we can sort of come together, and like family and that can come in, and we just have a feed and all of that. Like all the nationalities sort of have their day in prison over there. You got like the Aboriginals have NAIDOC Day, and the Vietnamese and that have their like Chinese New Year stuff, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a few different stuff, but yeah, for us, we celebrate Waitangi Day. We go to the haka practices and that, and but that's like a lot of boys, you know. That's our first sort of like proper taste of anything cultural, you know, and it's behind bars. So yeah, so that's Australia. Well, so how was it for you through your teenage years, man? Over there in Frankston and Melbourne.
If I could be honest, bro, it was a mess. I could safely say Hell's Angels pulled me out of being a junkie. Not so much a heroin junkie, but a stimulant junkie. Before all of that, I was, during school, starting back in school, I was raised in Carrum Downs, Frankston as well. We were motorheads, bro. We loved bikes. Like, I actually truly love riding motorbikes. And the Hells Angels knew that. They knew how active I was on a motorbike. And that was just most of my area that we grew up in Frankston and Carrum Downs. We finished school, went home, started the motorbikes, and just, yeah, my whole teenagehood was literally on one wheel on a dirt bike, cruising up and down the beaches of Melbourne, cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, I've been through Frankston a bit, man. Been around the pines and that, you know what I mean? So,
the pines. Guys. Well, I try to stay well away from the pines, my friend.
Yo, yeah. No, so then, brother, to move on to that. So, how did your sort of introduction with the HAs and that start?
Muhammad Koda.
Muhammad Koda.
Yes.
Haboob.
Our dear friend Uncle Moe. Yes, brother.
Also, Moe's been on the show as well. So yeah.
Yes. That was my introduction, brother. Brother Moe, and he introduced me to that world. So if I could give him props, it was him. Yeah, he was my introduction, brother. Yeah.
But that ended up pulling you out of a lot of what you were getting involved in on the path of, like you said, you know, being a brassy and that, you know what I mean?
Yes, brother, yes. I had no, that's all Murray said was, can't you with me? You can't be fucking doing any of that. You go to work. So, yeah, he got me in. He got me my first job that I actually liked. Got me my first bike. He got me everything, brother. And, he gave me a sense of maturity. Like, I thought joining their club, I didn't have to go to work or nothing, but yeah, they said, off, like, go to work, do your thing, run some errands when you can. And I was like, oh, these guys, they don't even want me to be out and about all the time. So yeah.
Yeah. Also, then how did life sort of go for you from there, my bro?
Yeah, it was rough. It was cool. It was exciting to me at the time, and Murray and the boys, and yeah, it was. How can I say it without saying that?
Yeah,
it was gangsters, bro.
Yeah.
It was gangsters, and the brotherhood between a few of us, the filthy few of some of us, was. It was really, really tight. Me, Moe, Joey, Narch, Sifo. There was a few of us Islanders / Lebs that were fairly pretty close, mostly because of our cultural and prison background, bro.
Well, just to touch on that though, so like Filthy Few is like, is that like a group inside of yours, inside
Yes.
of the club?
How can I say that one? Filthy Few is considered the elite members, or some of the elite, or could consider the bad motherfuckers of Hell's Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy though, because Joey, Moe, they've all been on the show. You know what I mean? So it's awesome, man. You know what I mean? That, you know, you guys have gone from being of that sort of a repertoire. I mean, you were patched as, you know, pretty young, bro. So obviously that speaks volumes, you know what I mean, of the sort of person you are, the sort of character and that. So man, for you guys to jump on the show now and sort of have a yarn, bro, and sort of lead on to what you guys are doing now, it's massive, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's massive for people watching, bro. You know what I mean? To hear your guys' stories and to hear you guys actually come out of that life, you know, going to prison and getting your patch and things like that, bro. Like knowing that you were one of the youngest. I mean, what was that like for you?
It was at the time a bit of a healing process when I got that patch. I don't know if you remember correctly. I nearly got killed in Loddon, and it was tit for tat. It was called for. I copped it on the chin, and I walked out of there. They were trying to get me to leave. I said, "You're gonna have to kill me to leave, bro, or put me on the stretcher so I leave that way."
So I mean, yeah, so brother, so to go on to like what you're doing now, man. So you're deeply involved in Te Ao Māori, out in out your ways and things like that, and sort of advocating and things like that. So would you say that began in prison, brother? With the whole with what we were doing in there with the haka practices and.
Yes, brother, most definitely. Yeah, definitely would had started there, or that was definitely my first or our first haka that I had started and completed. If I remember correctly, that haka was Maui or Pōtiki. And yeah, so that's what I remember from that, brother. And yes, it did start there. I considered myself a full-blown Aussie then. So I was like, yeah, learning that haka would have been sort of the first time I put more effort into it every Thursday afternoon at haka practice. Yeah,
yeah, brother. Yeah, no, that's for sure. So then how was it for you, man? So you ended up serving your last stretch over there, obviously. Did you get out, man, or did you just get straight taken to the detention center?
That first sentence, I got out and then I came back. But then, before deportation, because I signed the papers, knowing that I had already been through that, and the evidence they brought forth now was we couldn't deport you in such and such time, but we can deport you now because you're an active member of the Hells Angels. So I purely got deported on the basis that I was an active gang member. And but
did you go to the detention center at all, or?
For like 2 nights, brother. They let me stay there till my plane was ready. And then, got cuffed up, got on that plane and had a bit of a cry. My brother grabbed me and I just broke down, and then all the ladies, all my ladies, all my wahine and my family, all the women were like, "Why wouldn't you cry for me?" And I was like, "Oh, this is a man thing." Got deported, brother, and got off at Auckland Airport, and just a bunch of Hells Angels waiting for me, and patched up with New Zealand Hells Angels immediately, and started gang banging as soon as I left the airport, really, bro. Unfortunately, that was like a good 6-month stint of just roaming the country of Aotearoa, New Zealand, and seeing the beautiful country, and then trying to adapt myself to the New Zealand Aotearoa ways of how clubs and gangs operate here.
So obviously that's a lot different coming from Oz.
Not said, but it's different.
Yeah. So I mean, well, how was it, man? So like coming back to New Zealand, aside from the club stuff, I mean, how was it for you, personally coming back?
It sucked, bro. I was depressed. All my family was still back there. I was here by myself, not by myself, but I didn't have no one that I sort of grew up with that I could knock on their door and fall in their lap and cry and say, "This is tough." I had to ring up all sorts of social people or just any shrink just to talk to them. I was talking to many shrinks in the last 6 years.
Real?
Yeah, bro. I felt hard. I felt really hard. I was getting told to separate from my family to be active as a Hells Angel, and it was conflicting with me up here. And amongst all that depression of being deported and such, I made a choice to leave Hells Angels. I was mentally unwell, and it's down in the papers that I left Hells Angels because I was mentally unwell. Yeah, I've got my smile back there, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, brother. Nah, it's beautiful to see, mate. And brother, what a privilege, you know what I mean, for me, brother. You know what I mean, having you on the show, man, and sharing about this stuff. I mean, I speak openly on this too, brother. You know what I mean? I'm on previous episodes. I do talk about the hardships. Well, watching stuff like this, bro, it's healing for so many people to that can relate, for sure.
Yes.
Well, so, but you know, so you were reaching out, like, bro, I remember when I first came back and I was seeing my probation and stuff. I remember the first meeting I had, the lady was just like, "Are you all right?" Because I was just sitting there like, bro, I was just, mate, just overwhelmed with all this emotion. And she's just looking at me like, "Are you all right?" And it's just like, what kind of question is that? You know what I mean? Like, fuck, of course I'm back here in a country I don't want to be in. You know what I mean? Like, but you don't even know where to start, man. You know what I mean?
No.
It's
And I'm glad we started okay enough to be here today to talk, my
yeah,
bro.
nah, that's right, my bro. Yeah, exactly right. So you know, it's all the divine plan in the end of the day. Well, so how was it for you, man, from there, brother? Sort of you know, leaving the club behind and things and you know, moving. Well, you ended up back in Hastings, was it, brother?
Yes. Moved to Hastings, and yeah, if I could, yeah, I ended up slipping up again and being crooked as one would used to. Sorry, and then my old lady passed, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, she passed away over in Australia, and I was stuck here, obviously. And as you would know, as a deportee, you can't go back for anything. I think even if you were the Queen's son, you might not be able to get back. But I couldn't get back, brother, and she had asked me a couple of months before she passed if I could go jump on the pai, learn our whakapapa, our pepeha, learn our culture, because I'll be the only one, the only whānau really out of my direct relatives who are in Te Ao Māori.
Wow.
Yeah, brother, and yeah, her little message then pretty much pushed me away from the black power, and yeah, brother, I've been working on it since, really. Couple of ups and downs, but yeah, yeah, bro, yeah, she passed away, and yeah, it sort of made me open my eyes to everything that was normal that my mum never had seen. She was the devil's advocate, bro. Like, she was the devil's advocate. She would have helped me stoop guns and cars. She would have helped. She would let me put my kilos of whatever in her car. The police raided her cars numerous times and stripped it down. And then my mum was that one that was standing like, yes, and da. Whole thing. But yeah, so I thought after she passed, I thought I'll take that last message of hers and go live that lifestyle that she knew I was capable of and she hadn't seen me ever be this person. It was always gangs, hooting, tooting, shooting, smoking, joking with the bros. So yeah, I know she'd be looking down on me now, and knowing, you know, I do a karakia every morning, which was foreign to me and all my family. She knows I'm singing out loud, bro. Like, yeah, I do my waitas and sing them quite loud, just hoping or knowing she'll hear.
Oh wow, man.
Yeah, brother. So,
She would have been proud, mate. You know what I mean, of the path you're walking now, man, and the knowledge that you've obviously attained in that route. You know, because it's profound, brother. You know what I mean. I got a lot to learn from you, mate. You know what I mean. When I'm ever down in Hastings, brother, I'll definitely pop in.
oh, it'd be cool to see you, brother. We'll definitely go to Havelock and cause some riff-raff.
Yeah, guys, all day.
Oh, well, politely, we'll go stand there with some signs saying, "Hey there, Masonic, how are you?"
Yeah, cuz, yeah. Nah, we'll talk more. So, well, brother, so you've obviously got the Māori traditional face tattoo, bro, the tā moko, you know, so that's a big step, bro. So can you sort of talk about, you know, the sort of path that led you to and the story behind that?
Definitely starts off with mum and utilizing it to not be sleazy, easy, and mischief anymore, bro. Like, yeah, that would have been the start of it all. Knowing I wanted to be semi-normal and get my kids, get just pretty much, yeah, I guess it's normal. This is normal. It's a normal way of living to our culture, and it sort of draws me away from all those old lifestyles. Yeah, but and being a descendant of many, many tipuna, many ancestors. Yeah, brother. Yeah, just knowing how significantly we are needed, us young ones in amongst marae. I'm going to our marae, and it's mostly just aunties and nannies and a couple uncles or one papa. You know what I mean? They're all slowly going, but there's all my generation, brother. They're all out there gang banging, red or blue. You know what I mean? Majority. And they're not doing any work. No one's doing any mahi down at the marae, brother, which is what our culture used to be doing. Very communal in that sense. And yeah, that's another push for me to get into this. I had seen it at the start. Yeah, but just wanting to be my truest self, really. This is my truest self that I feel is true to me, true to my people, true to my ancestors, true to my friends, you know. Yeah, but just sort of trying to adapt to a lifestyle that it's in my blood. And all I have to do is really try and pick it up, learn, retain their knowledge, and hopefully teach some of our rangatahi in the future that it's there is a way out. There literally is a way out. It's hard. You have to get used to solidarity and being alone and standing on your own 2 feet.
100%.
Yeah, brother, and doing things like yourself, you know, content online, or just all those normal things, adapting to those. Going to church on Sunday, brother. I don't go to church, but I represent Christianity, and I was a Muslim at one stage, so I understand our religion, all our religions, and that it brings humbleness and peace to most and some. And yeah, brother, I think just reconnecting, paying homage to those tipuna, just those cool stories of voyages that happened from Hawaii, Samoa, Rapa Nui, Vanuatu. All of our waka actually truly did come from there, brother. And if I could say, my waka left Samoa last, brother. And Taki Timu, Te Waka Tapu or Taki Timu was one of our waka. And just hearing those stories, those pūrākau that those voyages of our ancestors, brother, they were truly traveling the Great Pacific Ocean half naked, brother. You know what I mean? Like, and still living, and got us here to Aotearoa. So that sort of inspires me just as much Snoop Dogg and Tupac did inspire me when I was little. So yeah, brother, just those little, those big moments of our tipuna doing those voyages and living by nature, treating every living being as just as equal to you. Just some of all the real spiritual stuff is really healing, eh? Yeah.
Oh, bro, 100%, man. That's where it starts. You know what I mean? It starts with the Wairua, bro. A lot of us through prison and through gangs and things like that, your Wairua becomes damaged, and you can do all the physical stuff and seeing the psychologists and things like that, which does help, but it starts with the spirit. If you don't heal that, man, it's just gonna it just pollutes the physical, you know what I mean? It pollutes your physical being, the mind, the heart, so it all starts really from there. And bro, that's mad to hear, bro. I swear, that's awesome to hear, man. I definitely know that you'll be a light down there, bro. Like, I mean, what does the future hold for you, man? You're gonna try and work with some youths down there. Obviously, you were saying it's New Zealand wide, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All problems this country is facing with gangs and things like that. It's all over New Zealand at the moment, unfortunately.
I'm in university full time at Te Aroha Māui, doing kupuaeroa, doing my te reo, and fully immersed myself, brother. So yeah, considered full-time studies. I've got a 5-year plan to try and see it through, get my master's or whatever, get right up to the doctorate, hopefully. If I can do a big enough thesis to get my doctorate, yeah. So aiming to get my doctorate in te reo, brother, and just fully immerse myself in our culture, not only at our marae, which I have been, or helping our whānau and all of that. But I thought I'll fully immerse myself in university or te ahua Māori, te pukinga, and but I'll learn my language, and help me on my plans in becoming somewhat, I guess, a helper to our rangatahi, our youth. That'll be the major part of my future plans, really, other than keeping healthy. But I really do want to help our youth. Just to let them know before you go and do that mischief, there's a whole lot of darkness you're about to walk into. So buckle up or unbuckle and haere mai, come with me. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to go that way, see you later, buckle up, be careful, stay safe, see you later. But yeah, if I could tell some of the youth that there is no bright ending at any of it, there is time taken, and there's no time gained. Yeah, there's a lot of loss in time, which I know our rangatahi, or I myself can't ever get back. But if I can help our youth not waste their time on some things, I suppose, not all. But be my future plans.
Wow, bro, good on you, cuz. Oh, it's true. So you're going to uni doing all of that stuff?
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
Oh man, too much, brother. That's awesome, man. Like, and bro, that's the one, man. So much lost time, eh? And it's not just it's not just the prison either. You know what I mean? A lot of guys get out of prison. I'm sure you know as well, man. When you get out of prison, you're still in that mental prison, man, and that can take years, bro. You know what I mean? That takes just as long as the time you were in there to get out of that mental prison once you are out. So it's a lot of years lost, and bro, like, that's awesome, bro, to hear that, man. Mate, something in the air, bro. I say this a bit as well, man. Bro, just other boys that we've done time with, man. A lot of us have seen the light, Moe, Joey, and all of that, bro. We're all on our mission together, and I know that we can make a dent in this country, brother. I feel a big change in the air, man, in this country. It definitely needs it, bro. We're a strong people, we're a warrior people. And we're just we're being kept in bondage, you know what I mean? But a bondage that we can't see, it's chains that we can't see, and we need to break those chains ASAP. So brother, obviously a lot of people will be rapt to see you on here, man. So, bro, do you got any sort of messages, bro, for anyone that in the past and things like that, bro? Any people out there struggling, brother, to our people in New Zealand and things and across Australia? You got any messages, my bro?
First one would be, if you are getting deported, don't keep it to yourself. If you're coming back by yourself, find some whānau. And if they let you knuckle down with them. To those who haven't been deported yet, I think of you from time to time, at least once a week, knowing that you're all doing it hard over there. To my brother Joey, I love you, miss you, and I miss you dearly. Happy that you're a Christian disciple. It is you that makes me strong in my walk today, my hikoi today. My brother Joey makes me strong in my hikoi today, knowing that where he is keeping him sane, and he keeps me sane. All our 501s, brother, if they've got a chance to get out of prison over there and not join gangs and not be mischief anymore, brother, do it. You know what I mean? Do it, man. Don't be like me. I got out with the second chance and went straight to Hells Angels, and that's my bad. And if I could tell anybody, that's what got me here. So if I could stop anybody getting out the first time and winning a case, stay there, utilize every avenue you can to become normal. Stay home with your kids, cook your missus a feed, go see your mum, take her some flowers and tell her you'll be here every Sunday to bring some flowers, and that might just keep you out of prison.
100%, brother. Nah, beautiful message, man, to all the 501 brothers out there stuck in detention, man. We're sending you much love, much light, you know, and to all the brothers that have come back here, man, we're just sending you guys strength as well, man. You guys can do it. It's just this narrow path, man. We know it. A lot of people on the show know it. It's the hard path, mate, that leads to life. You know, it's the easy path that leads to darkness, mate. It's a easy slide, mate, but it's the upward battle that leads to life, brother. But it's definitely worth it, and we got treasures worth more than gold nowadays, mate. You know, All right, my brother. Well, we're coming to the end here, my brother Snakey, man. I really appreciate you taking your time to jump on the show, man, and share your knowledge, your insight. I know that it's going to speak to a lot of people that we know, you know what I mean, from their life, brother. I know that we're going to definitely plant some seeds all day, brother. So, but nah, definitely looking forward to hitting you up when I come down to Hastings, brother. You can show me around and teach a bit about the culture and things. So, brother, much love, man, and we'll talk soon, my bro.
Most definitely, brother. Thank you very much, my brother.